Hi everyone, welcome back to Stocks All Day with Dr. O'Day. This is my $1,000 journey. Today I am excited to share with you how I use various moving averages to kind of give me a little bit of extra confidence when using my MACD strategies and my relative strength index strategies to actually potentially buy into a stock. And so a moving average is actually taking the average of the stock over a certain period of time. And so what I use here is I bring in a 200-day exponential moving average, I use a 50-day exponential moving average, and I use a 50-day moving average. The only difference between exponential moving averages and regular moving averages is that the exponential is placing more weight and more credence in the more recent trading periods. And so it's actually weighting the more recent trends that are happening in the data than, things that happened at the, earlier in that 50-day or 200-day period. And so I'm excited to share this with you. As always, support the channel by hitting like and subscribe. Please let me know if you have any other questions, and do make sure that you're trading at your own risk. This is just meant to tell you what I do. It is not investing advice. So I'm looking forward to this. Please, again, let me know if you have questions. So here's the price of the stock, the particular stock, and this can be any stock that you're looking at. And I'm going to come up here to functions, and I'm going to go ahead and add in a moving average. So we just type moving and it comes up with moving average. So I'm going to add that in. By default, it's a 9-day moving average. I don't know why that's the default. I have no interest in a 9-day moving average. So I'm going to change that to 50. So I'm going to change that to 50, and what that gives me is just a nice line. This is just the average price over the 50 days preceding the particular day that we're on. And so by being above that line, we're in a decent uptrend. By being below the line, maybe it's trending downward a little bit. And typically people use moving averages when the price crosses upward over those. Typically, that's potentially a buy indicator. When it crosses below, it might be a sell indicator, and that's how people oftentimes use these 50-day moving averages. Now, I also want to add in something like an exponential, moving average exponential. So I could add in a 50-day moving average exponential. So I'm going to put 50-day there. What that's going to show me, and it's that new line, I'll actually code that as a different color. Let's put that as purple. So that's actually too close. Let me make the line a little bit. Can I make it a little bit thicker? Yeah, there we go. So that's the 50-day exponential moving average. And again, what the exponential moving average is doing is it's actually weighting the more recent days more heavily than it weights the previous days. And so what that you could potentially use this as a signal that the strength is getting stronger, the strength's getting weaker, the strength's getting stronger, so on and so forth. I don't use it typically like that. What this is I kind of use these both in conjunction as kind of, if the price is crossing one of those two, then typically that could be a buy indicator to me. Actually, the way that I often use this is with the MACD. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in the MACD indicator. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and come to my MACD indicator here. And if we want, so I'm going to get rid of those lines that I drew in. So the blue line here, that was the 50-day exponential. The green line is the 50-day regular moving average. And then, as I discussed in my previous videos, I only trade when the price of the stock is above the 200-day exponential moving average, which is the black line. So that's all the black line is. As I don't buy a stock if it's below the 200-day exponential, because that means that the stock has been in a downtrend overall. And I buy stocks that are in uptrends. I like stocks that are in uptrends. So I'm going to go ahead and add in just the MACD so that you can see it. It's actually present in what I'm showing you here, but I want to be able to see it. So for me, And this is where the green flags, you can kind of see that underneath this arrow, there's a green flag. You can't really see it too much. But what that tells me, and the reason that I've coded that in, is that tells me, and the way that I've coded that green flag is that when the MACD crosses over the signal line below zero, like I explained in my MACD video, and the price is above the 200-day exponential, and the price of the stock crosses over either the 50-day EMA, the exponential moving average, or the 50-day moving average. So when all of those things are happening all at once, then that gives me a green flag. And to me, that's one of the better indicators on what the stock is going to do. Now, unfortunately, it's actually not a perfect indicator at all. Because oftentimes what happens is once the stock kind of hits that exponential moving average or the moving average, oftentimes it'll rebound off of that. And you can think of it like an area. Sometimes when it crosses over the moving average, it then rebounds as well. So this is not a perfect strategy at all, but it's at least a pretty good indicator to me that I need to start thinking about that stock. I need to go look at that stock and see if there's other things that are supporting me purchasing that stock right now. So a lot of times I like to confirm these signals. So we have the MACD crossover. We have it telling me that it also crossed over the 50-day exponential or the 50-day moving average. I like to use Yahoo Finance. So I come over to Yahoo Finance and I search that stock. And then I like to look here, what are the analysts thinking? So the current price is 108.52. We saw that back in the other one. And analysts and these people are watching this stock a lot more closely than I am. So I'm going to kind of defer to their knowledge, and they're not always right. But they're at least saying in the next year, the lowest ones are saying 97 is where that stock might be. The stock is currently at 108. The average of these analysts is 122.17, and the high is 144. So what I'm looking for here is just, is it realistic that the stock might be going up? And to me, it looks pretty realistic that, the stock is potentially going to go up in the next year. And so what I'm looking for, again, is this MACD crossover, the 50-day moving average crossover being above the exponential moving average 200-day. And then are the analysts saying that this stock is probably going to go up? All of those things in conjunction, that's giving me these green flags that say maybe I should buy that stock. So that's how I use moving averages to kind of confirm the things that I'm seeing from my MACD strategy and or the RSI that I'm, kind of also employing as well. And for me, this works really well to kind of just see, is the stock in an uptrend? How's it doing compared to the last 50 days? Are we still in the uptrend? And it just allows me to get a little bit bigger picture, and then I use that to kind of confirm with analyst ratings as well, with people who are actually watching this stock a lot more closely than I am. And so if you learned something today, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Let me know if there's any video content that you'd like to see coming up. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day.